I think it's important that you point out privilege, and Ethan mentioned being straight white cis boy from an educated, well off enough family, um, and we grew up in the same house, and I'm queer and trans and disabled, and there's significant difference in our experiences, but even still, I walk through the world and people read me as a straight white cis boy. And there are, so many other intersections of privilege that I do have, one of which is a highly supportive family and growing up in a liberal area. And I know, you know, had I grown up in a different place, had I been a person of color, had we been poor, uneducated, any number of things, my life would have been entirely different. Um, and I think knowing that I have the supports that I have and I have the privileges that I have, and even honestly just knowing that when I walk in a room, people see me and read white male, and what that means is they take me seriously in a way that you're not taken seriously if you're feminine. So many aspects of privilege. I know that I have a voice. I know that I can talk to other people in ways that can make change. And I think the best thing that we as a community can do is find the ways that we each can affect change, and also find the ways that we know we need to do things to make ourselves safe. So you moved to Massachusetts from Tennessee to make yourself safe. Um, I moved from liberal Massachusetts. Well, at the time I was living actually in a small town in New Hampshire where my queer community was two couples and my ex. It was just getting a little tight.
That's pretty tight cup.
And I moved to the Bay Area because I felt like in that community I could have come out as male and been supported. I had one trans friend that lived a few towns over, but I wanted to be around more trans people. But I also wanted to be in a more diverse community. I wanted also to be challenged, and I grew up in a very white town. I grew up in a very privileged town, class-wise, education-wise, and I think the best thing that we can each do is take care of ourselves when that is necessary, and go out and affect change where we can, and not try to affect change where actually it's going to hurt you more than it's going to help that person. And I think that's how a lot of folks can think about their own families. If it's going to hurt you more than it's going to change them, then you need to go out and find yourself a space that is going to be healing and supportive for you first. If you have that love and you have that support, then you reach in there and you make the change. I know I've beat myself up over times when I was like, I should have done something to educate that person, and then I look back and I'm like, no, I was scared. I was scared of that person, feared for my safety, and I took care of myself instead. That's okay.
It is okay.
And
It
finding
is.
that balance of taking care of yourself and making change where you can, I think is huge. And it looks different for everybody.
It does. It does.